Hey folks, thanks for joining me once again for yet another episode of SwillinGrog's Wonderful World of Beer. Yes, I know it's been a while. Well, I've finally found the time to do another review after a long absence. The beers have been piling up, and there are definitely more on their way. But today I felt compelled to review this brew here, Cisk lager, which comes in at 4.2% alcohol by volume, and brewed and canned over in Malta by Farsons brewery. And apparently it is independently brewed. It's not some subsidiary of Carlsberg or Heineken, interestingly enough. So what we have here is a real bona fide malt beverage from Malta. Alright, never been to Malta myself. If it hadn't been for the pandemic, maybe I would have made it there by now. I was doing a lot of travelling pre all the COVID nonsense. It's been deep chilling in the SwillinGrog beer fridge for a wee while now. This little disappointing 330ml can. A 500ml can would be a lot more desirable. So I'll pour it out to the Kozel guys, which I've had for well over a decade now. Probably more like, about 15 years or more. Yeah, got like 6 of them, or maybe 12 of them for free, like when buying some Kozel years ago at First Choice Liquor. Alright, so let's get a look at the appearance of that. Yeah, quite effervescent. Probably should have poured it a bit more aggressively. Reasonably clear golden colour, bit of a slight haze to it. Disappointing amount of head, probably just a finger. It's turning into a fine ring. Let's move on to the aroma. Alright, well, definitely a smell of, sweet malt there. Not getting much else, but it's definitely seeming promising. Alright, so we've talked about the appearance and the aroma, so that could only mean it's time to dive into this one. So cheers to you all, folks. Alright, well, there's a definite hit of sweet malt there. Bit of bread, bit of biscuit. There's some definite bitterness there as well. And it's definitely lingering in the palate too. It's something I can't quite put my finger on though. It almost turns into a sort of metallic sort of taste. But I've definitely had something similar to this before, where it's got that kind of twang to it. Right, let's have another gulp. Alright, well, it's drinkable, and at 4.2%, considered full strength in Australia, which is laughable. You could definitely session this. There's something a bit weird about the bitterness. It's sort of like got that sort of, what you'd expect in terms of a sort of slight grassy note or whatever, like a Pilsner, but I don't know, it's almost like, a bit sort of metallic, as it just lingers in the palate, you know, unless you know, just have another gulp. Mm. Mm. Definitely reminds me of another beer that I've had, a European lager that, yeah, had that kind of twang to it as well. Hmm. Yeah, I guess the body, you could say, somewhere between light and medium, leaning towards light. It's not terrible in any way, but I don't know. Could I really recommend it? Not really. No, there are much better options out there. Yeah, I was probably expecting a little bit more from this. Yeah. Yeah, definitely had a nice aroma to it. Yeah, not altogether terrible, but I don't know, just, yeah, not quite there, you know, in terms of a really, you know, satisfying brew. You know, I don't think I'd ever feel compelled to like try it or buy it again. Yeah, it's a shame. Yeah, I had high hopes for this one. All right. Yeah, and yeah, it goes without saying that, yeah, the price point, well, yeah, paid way too much for, you know, for what it is, you know. It's, but that's, you know, Australia for you, and the absurd amount of tax that, you know, we pay on alcohol in general. Yeah, I mean, they're going to tax, you know, all these different types of booze. They should at least have one sort of flat tax. Yeah, instead of ones like, you know, one for beer that just keeps increasing incrementally. You know, no, I think wine's the only one that has a flat tax, strangely enough. All right, well, enough rambling from me. Yeah, Cisk, well, just dropped the can there. You obviously got Butterfingers today, but Cisk lager, yeah, not quite what I was expecting. Yeah, could be, well, could have been a lot better in my honest opinion. But still, on a hot summer's day, yeah, probably throw down a few of these without a doubt. So what would I give it in terms of a score out of 10? Well, let's just have one final gulp. Yeah, it tastes, you know, pretty sweet. Well, so, you know, got a subtle sweetness. We're talking about beer here, and you know, nice malty sort of mouthfeel and all that. But then it's just that bitterness that, yeah, that lingers in the palate. Yeah, there's something not quite right about it. Look, I'd probably give this a 7 out of 10. Yeah. All right, well, thanks for joining me, folks. Hopefully I'll be back again soon with some more reviews for you all. I've definitely got a lot of beers awaiting review, I can assure you. Just finding the time lately. Yeah, just been going through a crazy period in my life. Anyway, until next time, folks, fare thee well, all.